Hey you guys, welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. Today is a very exciting day for me. A bunch of our garden expansion was delivered and I thought I would show you. My foyer is full of boxes. All of these are our new garden beds. So it is still really cold outside. We are at the tail end of that cold snap that came through, and I'm just not ready to go outside and work yet. But I thought we could put a couple of these beds together in the house. My original plan for our garden expansion was to build wooden beds, but my mom is older now. Let me think about this. We started our first garden in 19 is when we built all those beds. And so she is like 6 years older almost than when we did that. And she has osteoporosis now. And so she was very worried about not being able to offer the help that she did back then. And we started getting all of these ads for this brand called Anleolife. I'm guessing that's how you say it. And she was really impressed with them. They came in garden sets. And so I got on YouTube and was looking at reviews where people had actually put them together. And most of the reviews I found looked like they were pretty good. So we decided to go with these. They were more economical than a lot of the other brands. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be better for sure. I mean, on the budget, they are better, but, ooh, that's heavy. Let's see. They gave you some work gloves. That's kind of nice. And then a little screwdriver and all of the tools. So on the budget, these definitely were a better price than some of the other brands. The reviews seemed like they were pretty good. And so now we just are going to have to see in real time what we think about them for ourselves. But I'm excited to see this. Oh, heavy. I think this box includes both round beds, and I'm guessing there are 2 bags of these pieces. So I'm guessing each bag of pieces is one of the beds. I'm sure there's some directions in here somewhere. Oh yeah, they're in the bag with all of the things. Ooh, that's heavy. So I think I'm just gonna scoot the second bed out of the way so we can work with the first one. I'm definitely gonna have to vacuum after I'm done doing this because there's little styrofoam pieces everywhere. Let's see. I mean, my initial thought is it seems really nice. It's a little bit flimsy, but it's a standalone piece. I think once you put it all together, you know, they'll hold well, but only one way to find out. This looks pretty straightforward. I read the instructions and it says that we want to line up all of our edges in the same way. So you just want to go around in the circle and overlap them in the same pattern. And make sure the holes are lined up. I may have to scoot this. I might not actually have room to do this in here. That would be kind of a bummer. I maybe move the coffee table. Oh no, it's gonna be fine. So do any of you have a hard time visualizing size? I knew that these were 4-foot round beds, but I didn't really fully appreciate how big that is. So that is how big these are going to be. Awesome. I am ready to start assembling this thing. I've got it all laid out. So it's got these screws, it's got wing nuts. The screws go in from the outside and the wing nut goes on the inside. So I think my plan here is I'm going to go through and do the top one and the bottom one on every piece just to help hold everything in place. And then I will go back through and do the rest of them. And I'll come back here and meet you when it's done and we can look at what the full bed looks like put together. In my efforts to work smarter, not harder, I have been going around putting all of the screws in now that I've got the top and bottom in, and then putting the wing nuts on just slightly. And then to save my fingers, I went and got an electric drill. I'm definitely using it gently, not with a ton of torque. I don't want to strip screws, but it definitely, the few that I've done with it so far seem to work just fine and definitely saves my fingers a little bit from screwing on these wing nuts. I can just hold the wing nut on the back and then use the screwdriver on the screw. And it tightens it up nicely. So that's my goal on all of this. I had one section where I went ahead and tightened them all down. Yeah, this one right next to me. But then I decided I would just work in a system and try and make it more efficient. I've never put one of these metal beds together before, so we're just learning what's going to work best. And I have 9 more to go after this one, so we definitely want to learn the best ways to do it. So like I said, screwdriver and just gently holding that wing nut. And tightening things up. Easy peasy, nothing to it really. And my fingers are much happier. I did think you guys might like to see how nice and tightly these joints come together once you get the screws tightened down. So let's see that. There you can see, nice and tightened down. So you guys, one bed put together. I am really pretty impressed with how nice and sturdy this feels. Obviously, we're going to have to see what it's like once we put soil in it, but it feels like it's nice and sturdy and it's going to hold up really well. So very exciting. Now that it's all put together, I thought I would step into it just for some scale because I have everything drawn out on graph paper. I have all of my measurements, but I don't think 4 feet in my head is 4 feet in real life because these seem really big. But our plan for these round beds is that we are going to plant fig trees in them. We found a couple of varieties that we're really interested in. They grow well in the south and they're supposed to get to 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. So these are only 4 feet wide, but we thought it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal if they overhang a little bit. And if it does become a problem, we can always prune them back. But just picture me green with figs. I'll be the fig tree for now. So I'm very excited about this. And I think the beds seem like they're a good quality. Only time will tell, but I hope you guys will stick around and we'll find out together. So you guys, thanks for hanging out with me today while I put together the first of my 10 beds. Yeah, I have 9 more beds to go. 1 more round one, 4 rectangles, and 4 L-shaped beds. So I would really like to figure out how to kind of do a mock-up of what it's all going to look like so I could show you. If I can figure out how to do that, I will. But I'm very excited. This feels like just an amazing first step. A lot of work to go. I will go ahead and link these beds below just so if you want to take a look at them, you can. They are more economical upfront than a lot of the other brands I've seen. But as I've said earlier, you know, this is our first time getting any of these, so I am not giving a review of this apart from that it went together easily and it feels sturdy. I don't know how it's going to hold up over time, and so I don't want to be like, oh, you should buy this. But I know that people are looking for more economical options. I hope you guys will come along with me as we transform the backyard, get these beds all put together, get our greenhouse put together once it gets here, and just lay out a new, beautiful garden space. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.